Hey everyone, the wait is over. It's been 3 months, but we got our lowered seat bases from Discount Van Truck. So we're gonna go ahead and get those installed today. Before we get into this video, I just want you to know it is mainly about the lowered seat bases that we do install. I do talk about the Discount Van Truck Swivels as well, but as a little added treat, at the end of the video, I do review 2 other brands of Swivels and actually have a discount code for the one that I recommend the most. So stay tuned for that. If you want, you can definitely fast forward to the end. I will have chapters below this video. Otherwise, enjoy this video. It's just us two. All right, so the first thing you gotta do is unscrew those corner pieces. You can use like a quarter, screwdriver, whatever you need. Pull this open and it exposes your battery. You wanna make sure to disconnect your battery from the negative. There is actually a quick release right here that you can just flip, and then you got to kind of jiggle it to get it off. All right, I'm gonna make sure to put this cover in here so that the battery doesn't hit again. Because the last thing we want to do is make connection. One of the problems that you could have is your airbags could explode. So you want to make sure you get this taken out and then give it about 15 to 20 minutes to let everything dissipate. And then we'll go ahead and get under the seat and disconnect the airbags. So while we wait, let's go ahead and play with the dogs. Right, Graham? Vicious pitfall. Oh, the vicious pitfall. Oh yeah. Little love bug. All right guys, so it's been 25 minutes. Let's get in the van. First things first, go ahead and remove your jack, because we're gonna have to get under the seat there. So under the seat, you are gonna find 3 different connections. These all connect to your airbag sensor, seat sensor, all that kind of stuff. You should be able to get them out of the little housing on the side. So it has this little purple deal there. It is spring loaded. You just push that over and then these can disconnect. There is a yellow one that is exactly the same, and there is a black one that is a little bit different but very similar. So one thing to be able to help is taking this plastic piece off. You can actually see in there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these. This one I believe is a T20, which yes it is. So here's where it's zip tied into the side rail. So I'll go ahead and just clip those off. I think from the inside there's a little bit of a gap that I can get the scissors under. There are 6 bolts that you need to get out to get your seat off of the base, and it actually is on the swivel. If you were to install a swivel, you would be taking these out to take your seat off. And then you would basically install your swivel base here, like it is now, and then your seat will go on top of your swivel. Same process as when you're doing that, but this is a T40. You should be able to get it off with a Torx, Allen key like this. Sometimes, if it's down too tight, you might need to get a bit for your drill. But I just started this first one and got it off just with this. And so I'm going to go ahead, go around the seat, take all of them off. She just took the camera with her. I got all of the bolts out. The only thing is, this base, the stock base on the Promaster, has threaded holes. So these screws are supposed to go right back in, but these holes are not threaded. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and figure out getting some either nuts for these or getting new bolts all together with washers and everything to set this up. Also, one of the reasons most people say don't buy the discount van truck, the connectors do not fit through the hole on the base. You have to clip the wires to be able to fit them through that tiny little hole that's in the base. But we got them installed at the dealership, so they did all the cutting for me. And looks like there's some shrink wrap on here where they put the wires back together. The next thing I gotta do is take these bolts out. There are ones back here within this little track, which hopefully I have a star bit for that. I don't. Son of a gun. These ones I'll be able to get off with my wrench set. Number 18 ratchet, it looks like. So definitely I'm gonna have to go get something. I can't figure out any other way I'd get those off. So figured out this bolt is a T55. So I went ahead and unscrewed those. I'll probably just leave that small washer there for when I put the base back on. But then it should be as easy as bolting that in place. Hopefully I can make those. So the foam in the front, the plastic over the top of it, I guess, is kind of in the way of the feet on here. So I'm just taking a pair of scissors and just kind of trying to clip it around it so that I can kind of just move it up a little bit. And then it should hopefully slide into place nicely. I'm so incredibly upset at the moment. These bolts, the bolt pattern is wrong. It is not wide enough. So you can't get these damn bolts in. That's something I can't even fathom. Like, how in their manufacturing process can they screw something up this bad? Especially when it's taken so many more weeks than they said it was going to. Nothing but bad reviews for them. So if you're gonna get swivel seats, definitely do not go with discount van truck. Across the board, terrible. Rather than waiting a couple days to get on the phone with discount van truck or email them because it's a holiday, I'm gonna go ahead and see about using a step bit to see if I can't widen these holes. One of the things I noticed, where the plate was welded, you can see there is extra metal in there that looks like they didn't get enough of it out. It's on both of them, or I guess all of them, for the 4 back here. Looking at the way they're lined up, this little extra bit here might be enough shaved down to fit in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that step bit, see if I can't widen it up a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and put some Rust-Oleum on it before putting it back in the van, because there will be some metal showing. Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but that's basically all they did, was just drill a hole through. The bones of everything should be good, so I don't think widening the hole should mess up any of the stability in it. So we'll get that done, see if it fits.
Hi.
Hey guys. So guess what? Got a new bit and got those holes far enough out now so that I can get the seat in. So we're gonna go ahead and get this finished up. I'm gonna go ahead and spray paint this one now, Rust-Oleum it, so that all the bare metal is covered because I don't want any rust issues in the seat. But then we'll go ahead and start working on the driver's seat. Probably do the exact same thing. She's squealing over there. We'll probably do the exact same thing, having to, you know, bore those holes out a little bit bigger because both bases are identical and I have a feeling both seats are identical. All right, so I want to fill you in. There are only 2 wires under the driver's seat. Just like the other seat, we're going to take those bolts out. These back ones, it should just slide out of there, and then we'll just remove that after the seat base is out. The only other difference is these need to come out, which I think they are also a T40, Torx 40 bit, and we'll just set that to the side, and then we'll figure out. There are some directions that came with it where this fits up with the new seat base, so it'll connect right to the side of the base and then basically do exactly what this bracket is doing here.
I'm just watching. I don't know what to say.
This is pretty firm in there where the connector cable goes down under. But I figured I'd get this out of the way. So they send some directions. I'm gonna go ahead and put the connector here together and on the base, which goes into these 2 oblong holes. Then we're gonna go ahead and see where it sits, see how much we have to drill out, because more than likely we're gonna have to do the same thing with this base as we did with the last one. Drill that out, paint it, and then we'll go ahead and get the passenger seat in, which hopefully has dried now. As expected, the back hole is perfectly lined up on the left side, but this right side, there is van bottom there. The hole is to the right and underneath the frame. So I'm gonna have to do the same thing and drill these holes out a little bit. All right, well, so what I found was a 3/8 bit was what would work. So drill those holes out. I'm guessing that's exactly what they were supposed to do. I think, like I showed you earlier in the video, there were 2 pieces of metal basically sandwiched together, or maybe they cut from one side and then cut from the other, and that hole was off. It was like halfway over to the left and then the other halfway over to the right. So I basically just made a 3/8 inch hole perfectly through, as you can see, and the base lines up perfect. So golden. I just wanted to show you, here is the stock base. So it is up to here, and this is the new base. So that makes up for the space for the swivel seat. Hopefully, you know, we're a lot more comfortable now. Let's move on to getting the passenger seat in.
Are you crying? Are you crying? Are you little baby? Oh yeah, you're cute. Oh yeah, you're cute. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you. Oh, ouch, that hurts.
I'm gonna put some thread locker on these. They had them before, but they have dried out quite a bit. Yesterday, I ended up having to buy new bolts. I went with all stainless steel bolts, washers for both sides, and a nut. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pre-place all of those. Then we'll go ahead and lock them all down. Would you look at that? Passenger seat is in. All the wiring is reconnected, and Katie sat in it and felt that she could touch a lot easier. So that's good to hear. Now, time for that one. All right, let's try something new. Woohoo! So the seat base is in. I left this loose a little bit so it can go back and forth, up and down a little bit. And so we're gonna hopefully get this in. They provided some bolts with it. So we just gotta make sure that that connection piece down here, where the wire goes down under the van, has enough room to actuate in the right way. This plate, if you go with this, I would maybe suggest mounting it to the emergency brake first and then placing it on here. The directions don't really mention the way that you're supposed to do it. I figured this was their suggestion, put it on the base first and then screw in your emergency brake after. But I think doing it on the brake first might be the best bet, and then lining it up on your base after. Woo! There we go. They're in. I just gotta click the electrical wires back in place, and then we'll wire everything up, make sure the van didn't throw any codes at all. And I'll call it a night and we'll wrap this up in the morning. So, since filming this video, it has already been 6 months. Obviously, we went through a cross-country move. We are now in Salt Lake City, Utah. As you saw in this video, we went with Discount Van Truck. They were actually, when we purchased our van, the swivels that they installed at the shop, we had a really good deal to get windows in our seat swivels installed, so we went ahead and did that. Had we known that they would have added so much height, we would have probably went with something different. Looking back at the price tag, we pretty much spent $200 on the seat bases, another $300 and some on the lowered seat bases. So we are getting close to $600 per seat. And there are other options out there that are cheaper and don't necessarily add as much height and work a lot better. So straight off, I want to say I'm not here to disparage brands, products, all of that on our channel. I do my best to review things that I believe in, and this is one of those products that I struggle to recommend and struggle not to say bad things about. As you saw in the video, the seat bases didn't fit the screw pattern, the bolt pattern. The swivels have too small of a hole, so if you're going to install them yourself, you're going to have to cut your cords for your airbag and seat sensors and all that, which is something that I don't know that anybody should be doing. You know, that's a pretty big safety thing. Obviously, cutting a wire and putting it back together can be as simple as putting in a butt connector, and there's ways of doing it, but it's not something that I would want to be doing on my own. And then I had a dealership do it for us, so I didn't feel as bad about it. Honest review about ours, I mean, they have just a center mounted swivel, so you have to adjust your seat back and forth. And can you hear that wonderful grind? So you have to pretty much adjust your seat back and forth to be able to spin it. The driver's seat is even more difficult. I have to crank the driver's seat away from the steering wheel, as well as pull the whole seat forward to get it around. So it can be a bit of a struggle to utilize these. Obviously, they still work. They're doing everything that we ask of them. They're spinning around. Katie can actually drive the van now, which is something she couldn't do prior to putting the lowered seat bases in. Product-wise, they do the job. It's just a very big headache to both put these bases in by having to drill them out separate, and then the swivel cutting your wires. Some of the other brands out there, my friend Ryan, who you've probably seen a couple of videos with him in them on our channel, Ryan installed Swivels R Us swivels, and they have one latch at the front, and they swivel around really nicely. A large hole, so you're not cutting any wires. The connectors fit through. They do add the 2 inches of height though. So I've seen those in person, can definitely recommend them as a swivel. But again, if the added height is something that would deter you as a shorter person to be able to drive, those can definitely be a little bit rough, and you might want to get a lowered seat base, which there aren't many options out there right now. For a base that doesn't add as much height, there is one from a company called Scopima. They are out of Europe, I think France, if I'm not mistaken. As you will see coming up, my buddy Brian has those swivels, and they are top rated. If you look at any forum, different blogs out there like Far Out Ride, they are consistently the top contender on anybody's list. And having seen them in person in Brian's van, I cannot recommend them enough. What do you think, lady? Hey guys, so we are over at my buddy Brian's house. He bought the Scopima bases off of the Swivel Shop website. Check out how smooth and quiet. So I definitely think the Scopima bases are the best on the market. These swivel super nicely, lock in place, the seat is solid. So then this just pulls back, nice and simple, and spins. And look how smooth the action is. It is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't lock in place until it gets back to that spot, but then it automatically locks in place and is absolutely solid. That is out of the walking path, you know, it barely sticks out at all. Ours Discount Van Truck has a like 6-inch bar that hangs out the front, so if you're sitting in the seat, sometimes you can hit your calf on it, and that is not fun. The other thing to mention is this base is offset. So as you can see over here, it goes further on that edge than this edge. So that means like where you have your seat normally, it won't be hitting everything. So a little bit of touching on the belt there, but nice, easy spinning around. Same with the driver. You have to adjust it a little bit for the steering wheel. But in our van, we have to adjust the seat forward to get around the column, adjust it back, adjust it forward again. It is just a nightmare with the Discount Van Truck swivel. Honestly, best seat bases on the market. And they were nice enough. I emailed them and said, hey, my buddy has these. I really like them a lot. I would like to shout you guys out on our channel, and would you offer a discount code? So they're giving us 5% off to anybody who wants to buy using the code TRAILVAGABONDS at checkout. So I will have a link in the description below for the Swivel Shop with these bases, and you can go ahead and purchase them off that for an extra 5% off. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please let me know with a comment below. If you have questions, you know, ask those as well. Otherwise, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We definitely have more videos coming your way. I have not been able to work on the van for months, so the van videos might not be too many coming up, but we definitely have some trip stuff, our move, obviously, which we had the first episode posted last week, and a few other random things. So hit that bell if you want to be notified when we do post those videos, and we will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for taking along. Bye. You guys wrestling? You wrestling? Hey, cutie. Are you a little piglet?
Are you eating grass? What are you doing there? What are you doing there? Are you eating grass? Are you a little grass eater? Oh, you don't want that. Yuck. Yuck, you just had dinner. Okay, ready? We're gonna run? Oh, drop that. Hey, drop that. Are you playing keep away? Oh my gosh. He's so happy about it. Oh, come on. We don't want that. Yuck, yuck.